Bienvenidos al Mr. Franquicia Podcast, el podcast en español número 1 en el mundo maravilloso de las franquicias, conducido por su servidor Rafael Álvarez. Estamos en vivo desde el piso 85 del One World Trade Center desde la ciudad de Nueva York. Así que prepárese que el programa va a comenzar. Greetings. Saludos. Bienvenido. Welcome to the Mr. Franquicia podcast, the bilingual podcast in English and Spanish, número uno, nationwide and globally. So we want to thank you for following us and for connecting with us, and to be able to show interest on the wonderful world of franchising, which is what we're going to be talking about. Today we have a very special guest, someone that is going to be talking to us about a very interesting industry that many of you, I'm sure that, I think, well, if you call my attention, I'm sure that it will call your attention, especially those of you that are looking for a very low investment franchise. If you're looking for a low investment franchise with great, market value, with great opportunity of growing in a tremendous industry, so pay attention because this could be for you. Today, I have the great pleasure to introduce to you Patrick Morlando. Patrick is the president and the CEO and the founder. Him and his wife founded this great franchise concept called Enjoy Your Party Franchise. Wow, Enjoy Your Party Franchise, which is a nationwide franchise, and the way we do it, basically what they do, they provide staffing for people that organize events. I'm sure that who doesn't like to party? There is always party going on around us every single day, around all year round. So I'm sure that Pat, you must be very busy, my friend, with your business. Welcome, and thank you for taking the time to talk to us and to join our Mr. Franquicia podcast. Welcome, Patrick.
Thank you for having me. I certainly look forward to the opportunity, and look forward to connecting with everybody. And I hope to meet everybody in August out at the event at the Marriott Marquis in Times Square.
Definitely.
We'll be there, and if we could talk beforehand, but we're looking forward to it.
Oh, fantastic! Definitely. I mean, we're building a lot of momentum with the the largest Latino franchise expo in New York City called Franquicia Fest. So we'll be very happy and excited to have you there and be able to connect you with the Latino community. But before we get into and start talking about your wonderful franchise business model, Patrick, I would like to talk to you a little bit about you, to see who is Patrick Morlando. Where you come from, my friend? Where were you born? Are you from Jersey? I know that you're in Jersey. Are you a Jersey?
No.
New Yorker?
I am born and raised in the great island of Staten Island.
Oh, that is my backyard. Yeah, nice.
And my wife was born in the very long and tired Long Island.
Oh, New
So we
Yorkers.
had the Battle of the
New Yorkers.
Islands.
Yeah.
So we moved to New Jersey.
Yeah, that is fantastic. Okay, so you guys were born and raised in New York City.
Yeah.
And Long Island, New York, and Staten Island, Long Island.
Yeah. And then when we got married, she didn't want to live in Staten Island, and I didn't want to live in Long Island. So we said, let's go over the bridge and go see what Jersey has. So settled here 37 years ago. This will be 37 years ago. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, time goes by fast.
So you guys been married. So you guys got to know each other where in Long Island, in college. I mean,
yeah. So we met. We met through a friend, and real funny story. We were just talking about it over the weekend with family. Traveling from Staten Island to Long Island. We all know the Belt Parkway or the Brooklyn Queens Expressway could be a challenge sometimes, unless you're driving at 2-3 o'clock in the morning when you can go right through. So we were dating for about 2-3 months, and I just walked in the house and I said, I need to know now if we're going to get married or not, because if not, I'm done. I'm not making this trip no more.
This
And we were
community
married 8 months
is
later.
killing you, right? The community was killing you. So he
Killing
said,
me.
now or never, right?
We were married 8 months later, and here we are, 37 years later, two great kids
Wow.
that are in the business with us, and they're looking forward to taking the reins on this. So they're not
So,
ready.
so have you worked all your life in the same industry? What was your first job's opportunity at the beginning, right after college, or when you were younger?
It's funny. My family was born and raised in Italy.
I was gonna say that, yeah.
Yep. And wanted to American. That's why my name is Patrick instead of Pasquale. And I remember I was about 8, 9 years old, and my grandfather coming downstairs, and he's saying to me, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm watching TV." He's like, "Why don't you go start a business?" And I'm like, "I'm 8 years old." He goes, "When I was your age, I was shining shoes. I was working 8 years. I was like, go do something." So I got up and I started cutting grass. So my first job, about 9, 10 years old, I was going around the neighborhood with a handheld, push lawnmower, cutting people's grass. So when you ask my first job, I think that's kind of illegal now, but I was 9, cutting grass, and then from there, once I started uh, into regular positions, I've always been in the hospitality, food service industry. So I graduated from St. John's with a business degree, and been in the food service business. But one thing I did realize, no matter what the product is, it's all about relationships, and it's all about customer service.
Hey,
So
Pablo.
whether you
I mean, come on, Italians and food goes hand to hand. I mean, what I see with Italians that they are so passionate about the food is, and I see now it's not just the food; it's the whole industry. For what I
yeah,
see,
the whole industry.
what is it? It's part of in the DNA, Italian DNA that you guys. I mean, it's
it's amazing. It's the with just the love of food. And I don't know if you ever had an opportunity to go to Italy or just experiencing the food. And I firmly believe, and I'm sure everywhere else in the world except in this country, the food is much more wholesome, um, more organic, and then a tomato actually tastes like a tomato. And a pepper tastes like a pepper, and so on and so forth. But the food is just incredible, and that's been our my passion, for years. But as you can't do everything, um, and everybody can make a lot of the same pastas, but we specialized, in the support network for the hospitality industry, and that's on the staffing, whether it's through private events or corporate events or contracted, food service companies. We took our niche is in the service part of it. Our motto around here is, serving a table or serving a party is not rocket science. Doing it consistently is,
that's right.
and that's what we do. We do it consistently. Just for example, this past weekend, we do all the colleges up and down the East Coast, and this weekend was Princeton University's reunion weekend, and we probably had I don't know 4,000 hours into this event from Wednesday of last week through yesterday.
Oh my God!
So yeah, we had events all over the campus, and because they come to us because that's the service that we provide.
But before we start talking about your franchising business model, I really want to connect. I mean, when did you decided? How many other jobs opportunity you had before you jumped into franchising? What were you doing before?
Well,
Or you
before
been
we jumped into franchising, right? We've been in business coming up on our just about our 30th year in business.
wow?
Um,
So
you
you've
know,
been in your business almost your whole life.
yeah, exactly. So we started in 1994,
Okay,
with the concept, and then over time, we just kept growing, and we realized that you're only as good as your last event, right? So um, we tried having managers, in certain markets. Like we had an office out in Chicago. We had a manager out there, but in this industry, when we do a lot of corporate staffing as well, when we have a corporate office calling us at 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the morning because their cook called out or their dishwasher called out, if you don't answer that phone until 8, 9 o'clock in the morning in the corporate world, the day is over, right? So we found that sometimes when there's managers in place, they don't treat the customer as well as the owner. So, we've reevaluated our program. We've developed an amazing training program, for the staff and for the franchisee. We took a step back and we just evaluated everything. And in 2016, after what is that, 13 years, no, 20 something years, um, in business, we became legal to franchise. Our FDD was completed. And then unfortunately, um, in 2017, my wife was diagnosed with cancer,
Mm.
who we just celebrated her 50th year as cancer free.
Wow,
And
fantastic.
yep, and then we recovered from that, and then COVID, had a different
Well,
a different turn for us.
who came up with the idea? Who really made the decision between both of you? Who decided, you know what, maybe we should look at this franchising thing? I see people talking about it. How you guys connected with franchising?
It was pretty much me because at this time my wife, she was really focused here internally, and I just how do we go further? How do we keep going deeper? How do we keep going deeper? And where can we manage it from? So I looked around in franchising. I looked around in maybe licensing. But I like the franchising model. Um, just because of the 30 years of our brand, I felt there was more protections, through a franchising model than any other option out there. And that's why we went through into franchising.
Have you guys have the name all the time, or you just changed the name? The name has been,
Since
in
day
your,
one.
yeah, since day one. Wow.
Yep, since day one.
I mean,
Yep.
it's straightforward, right there. It's a beautiful name. I mean, for the
Yep.
kind of business.
The name is registered and trademarked. The logos are registered and trademarked as well. So
Well,
it's
I,
been,
I really love the logo. The logo is really, I mean, it's cute. It's cute.
yeah. Yep.
So, so enjoy your party event staffing. So tell us about what exactly, what the services that your company or your franchise business provides. So people that are watching, meanwhile, I show your website. Go ahead.
Yep. So we our initial model, right, was providing staff as needed to off-premise caterers, banquet halls, um, you know, private people that were just having a party at home. And then over time, obviously it grew. We do all the staffing for food management companies such as Aramark, Compass, Sodexo, Hilton's, Bon Appetit. I mean, just all the food, Met's Culinary, Delaware North, um, and then we also found a niche where there's a lot of locations that have event space that don't know what to do with them, right? So we have some locations where they have, like, it's a church, and then they have a banquet facility, and that's our event management program where they have. So we go in and we solicit clients, and we sell it and advertise it, and then we have a contract with the location where we provide the events at their space, and it's we kind of use it as our own venue, to promote our events.
All
So
right. So
that's the event management.
let
Then
me see if I follow you. So technically, what I'm showing here is basically your main website. This is the website where you promote all your services, and then you have franchises in
right.
how many states, how many cities, how many, where are you guys at?
So right now we have a franchise office in Easton, Pennsylvania, and then we have our own office in South Florida. And the one office that I'm talking to from there in New Jersey covers our three other locations in New Jersey, North, Central, and South Jersey. But the franchise location right now is currently um, just the one franchise location in Eastern Pennsylvania. So that's what's great about what we do is, we're we're truly an emerging franchise brand, and it's a great opportunity to get in on the ground floor for it. Right?
So technically, you're covering staffing services, which is needed in all major events, especially you just mentioned now graduation time.
Yep.
So the graduation all over,
Yeah.
and also event management. A lot of people definitely need someone that can manage their event, and
Yep.
also party rental and equipment. I mean, all three technically just each one of these services individually can be extremely profitable for any.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
people then come to the website. They then select the services that they're looking
Mhm.
for, and eventually then they'll connect with the franchisee. So everything goes through headquarters. How do you guys handle that?
So what we do right now is as our franchise program, the location has its own contact information. So when a person puts in, they want where they want to have their event, they go right. The contact page pops up. It goes right to that office, but we get copied on it. This way we can monitor it on our end to make sure that the customer is being addressed. The customer contact goes right to the location, and then we monitor it from our end.
And then let me take a look at your franchise business opportunity. This is your franchise business opportunity website.
Right.
Um, I see. So tell me, how much does it cost to join your franchise brand, and how
So
much are royalties?
so one of the things that when I designed it and I looked at it is right. It's very difficult, like any other traditional franchise location, like a Jersey Mike's or a Subway or any of these other ones where you kind of use, a zip code and you put a circle around it. Through our process, we've designed it more of a developmental territory, just because when we design the territories, we look at where our corporate locations are, B, what the population is in the area for private events, see what the catering population is. So there's a lot of work that goes into a territory development.
Uh-huh.
But so when we designed it, we made the program attractive. So for example, a single franchise location is $15,000, and we have a 6% royalty. And that's the only we don't pull any brand funds out or any other fees at this time, just the 6% royalty. But we do have a minimum $200 a week, which gives you time to ramp up and get yourself
Right.
established.
So let me see if I follow you. So what you're saying um, is it the total investment $15,000, or do they need anything else? So 15,000 for franchising fee. What else do they need? What else? How much money total?
Right. So we have a performer that we follow, which kind of, because it's all labor, right? So everything is working on a slide scale, right? So your basic insurance is right. A lot of it based on your volume, so it kind of slides. So your basic startup costs for one location is about $70,000, because you need reserve money, because a lot of places, with our contracts, they're paying within 30 days. So you need backup, for payroll and insurances. It is a home based opportunity. So you can literally work from home. You can work from a boat. If you want to go skiing, you can go work from a ski lodge, because all you need is a phone and an internet. Uh,
Okay.
so the fees kind of scale as you go, but
And
we say between 60 and 70, just to play it safe on the low end.
and then the royalties is weekly,
Week.
weekly,
Hmm.
weekly.
Yep.
And then I'm assuming that you guys provide, what kind of tools do you guys provide, the franchisor?
So we have
Do
a
you provide,
very
do you provide marketing? What do you guys provide?
right. So we provide the website, we provide the email, we provide in-house training. We provide on your location training. For sales calls, for interviews, for employee training. We have our own alcohol prevention training program. Maria here in our office, she's an alcohol prevention, so she does. It's called Tips. She does Tips training for all your employees. We have accounting services. We have that we can help you with. We have sales programs. We have the contracts with the food management companies that you can get involved with. And go out and sell them. So we give you all the tools necessary for you to get out there and you got to be sales driven though, right?
I was gonna say that. I was gonna ask you about that. What is your ideal franchisees? What kind of franchisees you think this is a good fit for them?
You know,
You just
like
said quality, self driven, right?
yeah, you're definitely sales driven. And being able to train, right?
And
Food service,
manage. They have to manage all the staff,
exactly,
right?
exactly. A lot of folks, in the past that we've talked to, they came to us and they had food service experience, right? But as you get down through the interview process and you're talking to them, they don't have any sales experience, right? So they can work a kitchen, right? But they don't know how to go out and sell. So we look for people that have hospitality experience, food service experience, sales driven, and are able to do some training and bring people on and go out and get customers and get the business to grow. You
So this is coming for item. Is this item seven? So you have a startup cost, opening time frame, gross revenue, cost of rate. This is franchisees. You or what is this?
I can't see it. I don't have it. What does it read?
It says a startup cost. Enjoy
Right,
your party. It says 69,650K to 95,850K. No construction costs.
right.
And then
So
opening frame time 45 to 60 days. Gross revenue 2.1 millions based on 2018 2019 operation, and cost to operate minimal overhead. Da, 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 da. And then food establishment, then obviously you need 500K to a million investment, construction. You also have that. Is that also part of the offering or not?
no, so what I did was I wanted to make a comparison, right? Because when you look through different organizations, right, a lot of people, they have food experience. Like, oh, let me just go open up a food establishment, whether it's a sandwich shop or a hamburger place or whatever. And I wanted to show comparisons on what the startup cost between both. And when you look down at the sales volume, at 2.1, and you look at some of these other
Yeah.
food these food companies, their yearly gross sales are in that 1.1, 1.2, but it's going to cost you five, 600,000 to open up the business, right? So with us, it's a much more attractive program because it is a
It's
limited.
manageable. It's definitely low, what I consider low income franchise investment. Which, believe it or not, there are a lot of people looking for this type of franchise opportunity because
Yeah,
they are sick and tired of what they do at work.
yeah,
So they look for opportunities, and if they can see themselves, because sometimes they might not have a lot of money, but $15,000 to begin with
yeah,
is something manageable, and then you guys don't require the huge overhead, which is the build out of an
exactly.
office or even a restaurant if you want a restaurant. So
Mm.
so definitely this is a very manageable franchise system for what I see. I really want to congratulate you because you have a good one here. I mean, you have a lot of great opportunities.
Yeah, but listen to this. You
Yeah,
want to even get more excited.
go ahead, tell me.
Like I said, we developed it as a franchise development, right? So just to kind of put this into perspective to understand it, you could operate three, four, five offices out of one office, right? Out of you could operate 10, but effectively three and four offices out of one location. So people come in for interviewing and training and right, so they're not too logistically far away. So I've laid out two states, Maryland and Delaware, two big states, small big states, and I could put 10 offices in those two states. So our franchise development program is designed for up to 10 offices for franchise. Guess how much? All 10 offices, $71,500.
Wow, are you serious? So that
I'm
means that
dead.
someone can own the whole state for what, 75,000?
The whole state of Maryland and Delaware,
Delaware, at least those two, yeah, because it's
those
based
two,
on population. I'm assuming it's based on population. I know that
right?
Delaware is tiny.
State and logistics and the way that they fall over, and Maryland goes into Delaware. But that was the model that I used when we did the developmental terrace. So the one location is 15,000, and as you go from 2 to 5, there's 7,500, and then from 5 to 10, it goes down to 5. So you can get 10 locations for $71,500,
Wow.
and you have 8 years to open up all 10 locations. Right, so it gives you a chance to systematically grow them, learn your customers, learn your market, build it, and go on.
So
You can't find that anywhere.
definitely not. And then uh, each
And there's
location,
more.
each location. Before you give me more, I'm thinking that each location can easily generate millions of dollars in
Yeah.
the future. Uh, so I was gonna ask. Well, tell me more, and then I'm gonna ask you the next question. Go ahead.
So we have veterans discounts.
Oh
We
yeah, that's a must.
we have a 10% veteran discount.
That's right.
We
Great
have
opportunity. Yeah.
a 10% discount for minority business owners,
Oh,
women
fantastic.
business owners.
Yeah.
So we offer 10% to those categories. So you're taking, another $7,100 off of 71, so you get under 65,000 for 10 locations with eight
Interesting.
years to open them. Now, tell me where you get that any better than that.
Well, I'm telling you, I've been talking, especially now that I'm hosting that event, the Franquicia Fest. I've been talking to so many franchise brands, so many franchise groups, groups that own 10, 15, 20 franchise concept, and I haven't seen nothing like this yet. You are the first person that I'm talking with this particular, model. I mean, look, as a Latino, I can tell you this is a great fit for the Latino community. Latinos in general, they love to cook, they love, I mean, they must be involved. I know many of them involved in the same industry in one way or another. i,
Mm.
I wouldn't be I wouldn't be surprised if I ask you how many Latinos do you have are part of your staff or your team. I'm sure it could be a significant number.
We have a lot of Latinos on our staff and our field captains. Just in our population. We've moved them up from I have one person in particular. Um, he's been with me for about 15 years. He came to me as a dishwasher,
Wow.
and now he is a field manager. He actually executed the whole Princeton event for us,
Wow.
and I've got some other pretty exciting news. We have one young girl who came to us when she was about 15, 16 years old. And she asked me for some time off because she wanted to go to school. And she fell in love with school. And I was talking to her. She helped us out over the weekend. And I said, and I've been in touch with her for all these years.
Uh-huh.
And I said, Janelle, I said, when are you graduating? And she said, May of 2024.
Wow.
But she's graduating medical school. So
Wow.
she came to us, right?
Wow. Wow.
And she's going to medical school. And she said, for everything that you guys did for us, I am going to be your official enjoy your party physician. So,
Wow. Wow. That's nice.
yeah, she said, I got to give back to you and your family and to the group. She said, I don't think there's anybody out there that has their own private physician. So we're
But
looking
how do you
forward.
find the staff then? How do you find the staffing? I mean, I'm assuming that you bring a lot of these young college students to work, because most of this work is part time, right? People, these are part time jobs. They do it only while there is an event going on.
So we have the right before the right as the pandemic, just to kind of put that into perspective. That the pandemic, we laid off on March 17th, 2020. We laid off 575 employees.
Wow,
Out of the 575, there was 98 full timers. As everything has been opening again, we're back up to about 200 employees and about 75 full timers.
all right,
So it is
yeah,
part time.
getting there.
But if you want to work full time, you want to work more than 40 hours, there's overtime opportunities, there's full time positions. There's people that are just looking to supplement something. They want to go on vacation. They're only looking to work 1 day a week, and they come, and then they realize, wait a minute, I'm going to a party, I'm eating good food, and you're paying me. I'll stay. And if they want to work, once a week, once a month, that's fine.
Wow. I
Right.
can tell you, man, I can tell you based on what I hear about your business model, I mean, I can easily connect you. You'll be, well, you'll see when you come to this event that we're organizing, but I'm sure that the Latinos as it is, they are entrepreneurial,
Yeah.
by nature. And even though they might be working as an Uber driver, taxi driver, they might be working at a restaurant, but believe it or not, they have the ambition of being their own boss, having their own business, and there is not a better opportunity for them to really join your franchise brand, for
Yep.
them to be able to own their own business, to be running their own show, be able to work and take it as a family business. I'm sure that many of them,
Yeah.
and many of them will be more than happy to provide jobs opportunities to their family members, to the relatives, etc., etc. I mean, I feel like embarrassed to ask, but I have to ask the question because I ask everybody that is a guest on my show, on my podcast. But how long does it take for people to get return on investment? How long will it take for people to get $50,000? I mean, I hate to say it, but I'm assuming that you can recoup that. I don't know. How long does it take to get it?
You know, it's pretty quick. It's I always tell people, and that's one of the things that scares us. Um, Without exaggeration, and believe me, Lockwood, I'm not lying. I mean, we can show. We leave on the table anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 hours, billable hours a week, just because we can't hire and train fast enough.
Wow.
Right. So when the phone rings in this office, we get scared, right? Because and I'm not. Look, I've been in business 30 years, right? I can't scream off a rooftop loud enough for people to understand the value and how we go to market, right? What we do. And when the phone rings, it's 99% a sales sold call, right? So we get nervous. We've actually had private customers move their parties for some of our employees because they weren't available that weekend.
Wow.
It's just a great feeling, right? And as we develop our program and how we move on, it's very hard for myself and my wife, who are the founders, and my children to not find the right person in charge, right? So we're very we funded our own franchise program, so there's no notes on it, there's no loans on it, there's nothing. So when people call, we're very selective,
Uh-huh.
right? Because we know how we survived for 30 years, and business climate sometimes is tough, and we want the right person,
The right candidate.
um,
Yeah, yeah.
to be in that place. So you can careful what you wish for, because once we let our corporate partners know that we're in a market, the floodgates open. The floodgates open because
Well,
there's no coastal market that always does. There's no other agency in this industry. There's tons of employment agencies, right? There's that do food service, right? So you want to do a forklift operator, you're talking to the same person that's telling you how to be a waiter or a bartender, right?
well, I like to say that I don't sell franchises when I was building my first one, and now that I have a few brands, I don't sell franchises. I award franchises. People have to prove to me that they
Right.
really, really deserve to be part of this brand, plain and
Yeah.
simple. Because it's a totally different mindset. But you are in the right track, and I'm glad that at least you're being selective. Because yeah, I mean, it's your reputation at the end of the day that is on the line. Every event that takes place under your brand name and your logo, and something goes wrong, something happened. I mean, you have the people with the wrong attitude, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that in 30 years, you went through the whole 9 yards. You know exactly what to see, what to expect. And I'm
Yeah.
sure you have a, an eye to really scout the right people from the crowd, right?
Yep, absolutely. And that's really how the birth of the event management took over, right? Because we took our years and years and years of experience and learned not what not to do and what how not to treat a customer. Like for example, we've gone to work for some caterers out there, that are doing someone's wedding, and then when it comes time to cut the wedding cake, they charge an extra $1.50 a person or $2 a person to cut the wedding cake, and we kind of like scratch our heads going, you're just charging $200 for this wedding, and they want to charge them an extra $2 to cut a wedding cake. So we took all of these little pieces, and we built our event management program on what not to do, and just be yourself. And we've had people that we did the baby's baptism, to the communion, to the to the graduations. It's just beautiful to watch the customers. And years ago, that's how we got started in Florida, because a lot of our New York, New Jersey customers would snowbird to Florida,
Yep.
and they called us and they said, I'm down in Florida, it's Passover or it's whatever, can
Yeah.
you help us? And that's how we got started, about 10, 15 years ago down in Florida. Um, so careful what you wish for. You can go from 0 to 60 really fast, really fast. So, like I said, I just can't, you know, I'm just dying to get the right people going, because we got such a passion about what we do. And, we got 30 years of experience, and you're talking to the founders, right? So a
Right.
lot of these other brands out there, 30 years of experience, you're talking to an employee. You're going to come in. I'm going to be there. My team, my wife is going to be there. We're going to be with you every step of the way. You're going to, learn our knowledge, get our experience. It's unheard of. And
All
that's
right. So,
my wife gets mad at me. She's like, you got to stop. She says, you live, breathe, and sleep. And I'm like, yeah, but people don't understand. This is the greatest business investment of all time. You know, it's cheap and it's quick setup. You need a phone and an internet. You're done.
yeah, definitely. No, it looks like it is a great business model. I have no doubt that you're gonna do well, and I see that. I know the pandemic hit you hard, like it hits a lot of different industry, but hey, man, you are bouncing back, which is the great thing. The only thing that I can do and I can say, I hope that we're willing to help you continue growing your business, taking it to the next level. And I'm sure that a lot of my Latinos that are listening or watching, this is a great opportunity. I would recommend you to visit, Patrick Morlando's franchise website. The name of the franchise is enjoyyourparty.com. So go to www.enjoyyourparty.com. Or if you want to go, I guess that's if you want to use his services. But if you want to um, join the franchise system, then go to enjoyyourpartyfranchise.com. Is that right, Pat?
Correct. And you can link from both websites to each other. So,
That is
uh,
correct.
and then give my phone number, and you want to just,
Definitely.
call me, speak to me. I answer the phone, and I'm right there involved every step of the way, and whatever it takes,
What
to
is your
get
phone
the
number?
right people in place.
People, what is your phone number?
My office number is area code 908
908.
735 2221.
All right, there you have it, guys. This is Pat or Patrick phone number, his office number, 908-735-2221. So
Correct.
please follow him in social media. I'm assuming you guys are all over
Yep.
LinkedIn, Facebook,
LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram,
Instagram. Okay.
and believe it or not, I mean, we post things on social media, but we just get referrals, and our brand name. Just I can't remember the last time the phone rang when someone said they got us off of an Instagram post. Oh, so and so told me to call you. And that's how we built our business. And I know, the right person in place can do the exact same thing. But yes, we're all on social media.
All right, guys. I think that we're running out of time. We run out of time. So Pat, I really want to thank you for taking the time and really showcase your brand the way you did it, man. You're doing a great job.
Thank
Congratulations to your wife. I'm very happy, to find out from you that she's cancer free. And I'm looking forward to see you at Franquicia Fest in August, guys. Franquicia Fest is the largest franchise Latino franchise expo happening here in New York City at the New York Mario Marquez in Times Square. Is Times Squares and organized by the Latino Franchise Association. So if you need more information about Franquicia Fest, go to www.franquiciafest.com.
you.
Patrick, any final thought? Anything?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to thank you for allowing me the opportunity, and I look forward to continued conversations. The Latino community is a beautiful community to be a part of this because they have a lot of business experience and a lot of food experience. So I think that they'll be very very successful. And with the programs that we offer, with the territory and the veterans discounts and the women owned and all the other discounts that we come on, it's a great opportunity. And please, my number's up there. Feel free to give me a call. If you have any questions, if you just want to say hello, and just remember, you got a 30-year brand, recognized brand, and all the power behind you to keep you moving forward. So we look forward to continuing conversations. I hope to see you in August at the Marriott Times Square. So
All right. All right, guys. All right, folks. That's all we have for today. Thank you very much for joining us. Don't forget to follow us in all our social media platform and listen to our podcast in every single podcast platform that you can think of. We're everywhere. So thank you, and until next time. Ciao.
Muchas gracias por escuchar nuestro podcast. Esperamos que la información haya sido de su agrado. Manténgase en sintonía, síganos en todas las plataformas de social media y visite nuestra página en el internet www.mrfranquicias.com. Hasta la próxima.